Vibe coding may be setting you up for failure. You must have heard a lot of gurus talking about vibe coding, but hardly anybody talks about the limitations and dangers which are associated with it. So vibe coding will help you in building things faster, but any seasoned engineer will tell you speed means nothing if we'll fall off down the road. So in this video, I'm going to discuss first what is vibe coding. Secondly, what are some of the limitations which you should be aware of. Third, what are some of the cases where vibe coding makes sense and you should use them? And finally, what does future hold for you? So don't go anywhere and stay all the way till the end. And don't forget to like and subscribe the channel so you don't miss any of the future episodes. Now, hi, I'm Abdesh. I have 20 plus years of experience working with big, large Fortune companies and building applications for them. In this channel, I share my experiences and I try a lot of different AI tools and try to share which works best for building up software which can scale up. Now, what is vibe coding? So, vibe coding refers to a style of programming where developer or anyone actually depends heavily on these large language models to build a software program. So, it involves you describing to LLM or AI coding tool what you want to build and let it decide how it will build. So, you just go with the vibe, you give a one line input, it creates something, you see whether it looks good or not, then you provide more inputs, and slowly, you get a software which is close to what you're expecting. There are a lot of tools available in market, AI coding tools which you can use, such as Lovable, Replit, Bolt, and many of these tools we have already reviewed on this channel. So don't forget to check them out. Now, before talking about the challenges, let's talk about what's good with vibe coding. So definitely it helps non-programmers or regular people to start building software by just describing what they want and let AI take over and create a code for them. So it's a low barrier to entry, anybody can do it. And you might have seen a lot of small companies have started now where they just vibe code something and get VC funding and they are on to race. So it also helps in unblocking the creativity where you can just tell AI what you want and it'll build it for you. So you don't have to wait for any developer or have multiple back and forth with somebody over weeks. Even experienced engineers can benefit from it. That okay, if you're working and there are certain section of code you don't know how to deal with it, you can ask AI to do it for you. Now, many vibe coding projects look good on surface, but it has mindful of issues underneath it. So that's what we are going to discuss in today's video. It'll range from all the way from security and performance issues, architecture challenges, and so on and so forth. It's like building a sand castle. And will you live? Will you be comfortable living in a sand castle? I'm sure answer is mindful of issues underneath. So let's talk about some of the harsh truths related to vibe coding. And I've categorized them into three sections. So number one is security. Since you don't have control over the code and is building everything for you, you don't know whether it's having proper security protocols or not. Your app may get hacked, or worse, somebody may steal data of your customers. So you might have seen large companies spending millions of dollars in lawsuits and challenges which they face when they face these kind of attack or if their data is stolen. So in big companies, you'll see whenever some code is developed, it goes through a scanning. So there are softwares which will scan the code, find out security vulnerability. They have firewall walls in place. They have a lot of security infrastructure which protect these applications which are business critical. So always think about security when you are building any application, even if it is using vibe coding. Now, number two is architecture. So architecture is very important, but when you are giving, say, one line statement to AI, it is building something, but then you provide a next statement, then next statement. And what happened? It start producing different kind of codes, which may not be coherent, it may not be optimal from architecture perspective. Now, just look at good and bad architecture example. So you might have heard that, like, OpenAI initially spent around 500 million to $1 billion in creating LLM models. Uh, but DeepSeek came and it was able to build a LLM model for only $5 to $6 million, which is way cheaper. And they were able to do it because they used architecture which was superior to OpenAI. So having a great architecture not only help you in saving cost, but it also help you when you're trying to scale up. So if you are building a software and you're hoping that, okay, tomorrow this may end up being a big company or a big software, then you have to start thinking about architecture from day one. And if you don't have a proper architecture, then it may also impact performance of your app. It may work very slowly. Just take an example, right? So when you are adding any data to database, so either you can have multiple calls where you're adding one data after another, like adding name first, then address first, and something else, or you can combine all the data and add it in one go, right? So both these scenarios will provide you same result, but the performance will be different. So having control or knowledge about architecture is really important. Now, number three is junk code and maintainability. Now, when you are doing vibe coding, you are providing different kind of instructions. So the AI will start building software on top of each other. So initially, when you give a generic instruction, it may create a lot of code. But then when you add something specific, it may add that specific code, but all the generic and fluff code, which was not at all needed in first place, may end up staying with your application. And over a period of time, it may become very bulky. And even for experienced programmer, it may be difficult to understand what that code means. If someone is not able to understand the code, then it will be really difficult to maintain that code and scale up, as your company grows bigger. So it's not to say that AI can't write good code. It can definitely can, but you have to understand these other impacts: security impact, performance impact, architecture, maintainability. So in any organization, you'll see writing code is only a small part, but all of these other things adds up and are very important aspect of building a software or a company which can last longer. And the most important thing is testing. So test, test, test. So whenever you're building something, you are using these AI coding tools or you're vibe coding, make sure you are testing. You can also use AI to create test cases or hire somebody experienced or have automation test script. But it's really important to make sure your code works fine. Otherwise, whatever initial customers you acquire may leave you if they find that the quality of software is not that great. Now, having said that, one thing which we have to understand is that AI is evolving and it's becoming smarter and smarter. And in future, maybe next few months or next year, this may be smarter or start building code which are better than any programmer. But as of now, AI coding software or vibe coding, which you call, are more like an assistant or a junior developer. You can say you can definitely take help of them, and it'll improve your efficiency. But you have to be on top of it and understand what you're building. Now let's talk about what are the good things with vibe coding. It's not all that gloomy. So first, it's great for prototyping and idea generation. So when previously, right, whenever you have to create a prototype, it used to take weeks or sometimes months working with developers, multiple developers, a lot of back and forth. But now anybody can just go type in, build something, show it, and if it works, then you can build the actual software. Second, no dependency on any resource or developers or anybody, business or any normal person who has no knowledge of coding can just go type in and build an application, um, at least a prototype, or start testing it. And later, if it works, they can definitely hire a developer or get some those kind of help. But that barrier is reduced, and it also help in unlocking the creativity. So vibe coding also help with learning and exploration. So generally not everybody knows everything. So if you are an experienced developer, still you may not know certain things, and their vibe coding can help you in programming that module, or maybe certain integrations where you need help. um, eh, Vibe coding or AI coding can definitely help you. Let's talk about future. So future is definitely bright. AI is improving day by day, and in short future, vibe coding uh, may be able to code as an experienced programmer. But in the meanwhile, it is more like a assistant which can help you in expediting. So one experienced developer can do work of say 5 to 10 developers by leveraging these AI coding tool. But somebody has to be on top of it and understand what they're doing. They have to make sure that whatever they're developing is having proper security protocols, it's having good performance, architecture is solid, and testing is. So I hope you found this video valuable. Don't forget to like and subscribe the channel so that you don't miss upcoming videos. So we are going to start building a real application, and I'll show you step by step how to scale it up and start generating revenue. So stay tuned and leave a comment and let me know if there anything else you want us to discuss. Thanks. Have a nice day. Bye bye.